Hello, it's Amy with Just a Little Ink. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up! In my 22nd year as a demonstrator. I'm loving every minute of it, and there's no doubt that there's been a lot of changes, but Stampin' Up! Always keeps on top of stuff. So I've got a fun card I'm wanting to share. I don't want to stay too long on the camera, so I'm going to go ahead and shift over to my other camera. Get moved here, and I can talk just a little bit about some of my upcoming things while I'm kind of waiting to see if there's some who have time to join me. If not, we'll go ahead and start anyway. Something new I'm doing here, trying to be out on Facebook every Thursday with a live, and if I for some reason can't, there'll be a video in place of the live, but the intention is to be live every week. I do have my free online classes. They're more involved than just a weekly live, and you have an opportunity to actually go back and rewatch and craft along with me if you spend a minimum amount, and that's always generally speaking around the $35 mark, but it could change based on what supplies I'm using. And the next couple months are going to be Christmas related. But my next one is on September the 26th. So 2 p.m., just like this. And so hopefully you were able to join me. And then I have the dates for my next few listed here as well. So I'm going to go ahead and set this one out of the way. And I'm going to open up my mini catalog, which is where Snowy Wonder comes from. And because this is now live, I can open the catalog pages and share. Snowy Scenes is available as a suite, which is everything you see here. It's also available as a bundle, which includes both the stamp set and the die set. It's also available individually, so you can choose to buy just the stamps, just the dies, just the snowflakes, just the ribbon, just the designer paper. And I didn't bring the paper here, but Snowy Scenes is also available in one of our new memory keeping kits. And those are available online. You can look at all the different options that we have available in our scrapbooking line, but it is an awesome scrapbook line. And I just may end up sharing some of that. We'll see. Beautiful, very much the same, but with a few changes. And so scrapbooking is more your thing. We have an option for that. So, but this is where I found all of products that we're going to use. And so I'm going to kind of just pull out. This is my Snowy Wonder bundle. I keep mine in cases that have a magnetic sheet in here already so that I can keep my stamps and my dies together. They don't come that way when you buy them. They do come individually packaged. You do get a case that's a DVD type case, which I find is just so much easier than the old days when we had big thick clamshell cases. But this is going to be a fun card. It's using one of the little wobblers, and these are the smaller wobblers. I will post a link in my YouTube, and I will do my best to see if I can't post details to where I found these. I'm pretty sure you can find them at any craft store as well, but I will try to put that in comments of this video as well. So I'm going to go ahead and get started because I think it's kind of a fun card. So I'll set this out of the way. I'm trying to move a little slower. I have a tendency to go kind of fast. So with that, what you're going to want is a half sheet of our Pool Party cardstock, and it is cut in the lengthways. So I've got it at 4 1/4 by 11 inches, and then it's scored in the middle at 5 1/2. And I'm going to go ahead and fold that along that score mark. I tend to pre-score the full sheets of cardstock, and then I cut them in half, and then I have an extra one so that I'm never scoring them separately, I guess is how I'd word that. So I'm going to go ahead and have that scored, and it's going to be what we call this, a vertical oriented card. You're also going to want a piece of basic white for the inside, 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. You're going to want a piece of scrap, and it's, what is this, about 4 1/4 by 1, give or take. I've got a couple others here. This one's 2 1/2 by 4, and that's more than I need for me to be able to cut some elements. I also have a piece that is a 2 by 2 3/4 piece of garden green. And kind of get some of these other pieces out of the way. And I didn't cut or designate how big this is. I think it is 3 by 3 1/4. Another piece of pool party so that you can die cut the dome for the shaker. And that's what this larger piece is here. Okay, so you need that. And then from our wood grained paper, it's a specialty paper. It comes white, and you don't really notice the grain, but it's got a fun surprise in store when you do some of our blending. And I've got a small blending brush I'm going to use. And this is cut about 3 1/4 by 1, give or take. And then you've got a couple pieces of Designer Series paper. This is from the Snowy Wonder paper. I believe it's Snowy Wonder. This piece is 2 3/4 by 4. And then this one is 2 1/2 by 4. And so I can layer those together. And then I've got about a 9-inch piece of the ribbon. I wanted to make sure to include kind of all pieces of this suite. And then, do I have it sitting here? I'm gonna have to see what I did with. I have to grab those, so you're gonna have to give me a minute to get up. Sometimes I have things at my other table. I'm hopefully not making too much noise. This is the white loose snowflakes, and they're so much fun to play with. So cute, cute, cute. So let's kind of get started. I'm going to scoot some stuff out of the way, and I'm going to start with my card base. So I'm going to go ahead, grab out my Stampin' seal, and I'm going to attach the snowflakes at the top. Make sure my fold is at the top. I'm going to attach my snowflakes here. And make sure that I'm even. There we go. And then I want to put my city scene at the base. You could do it in the reverse, but it didn't seem to make a lot of sense to do it in reverse. And I should have more than I need. And if I have a little gap, which I'm going to leave a little gap because it'll get covered up here. Like so. Seems like this one's a little smaller for some reason. It's all good. Okay, so then I'm going to take my ribbon. And it's got those cute little pom-poms all across the top and bottom. And I found that I needed something a little more grippy. So I'm going to pull out some tear and tape, just a little piece, don't need very much. And I'm going to put that piece of tear and tape kind of right in the middle. Tear and tape is just a nice strong adhesive. And then I'm going to pull out my take your pick tool, and I'm going to use the pokey end, it's a paper pierce end, and pull off the cover so that, and I just find that's an extra hand. It's just a lot easier. And then I've cut this longer than I need, but I'm going to kind of line it across the front, get a nice, kind of push a little bit into that, and then I'm going to pull over And it's going to be more, like I said, it's a little longer than I need. That's intentional. And I'm going to push a little there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my paper snips, and I'm going to snip that extra amount here. Like so. So, there we go. Get rid of the excess. Sometimes you throw it away and it's like, I don't know. All right. So, got a couple things I'm going to work on. What I'd like to do is I'm going to take this 1 inch by, what did I say, about 4 1/4, and I'm going to tear it toward me. And so when I tear it toward me, it gives me a rough edge. And if I kind of wiggle it up and down, it gives me more of snow scenes. It's kind of how I look at it. And it leaves me with 2 pieces that I could overlap if I wanted. And then what I'm wanting to do, so you can take however you'd like it, then what I'm going to do is you can take it through your Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. You're going to line up the base of the snow globe so that you get the same curve. Now you also could opt, so and if you did that, I forgot one here, then you could just go ahead and attach like so. The other thing you can do is you can take it just like it is, and I'm going to grab out my multi-purpose liquid glue, and I'm going to get just enough and line it up. And I can go longer this way, so I'm going to line it up, press on the back, and then I can snip around it with my paper snips if I turn it upside down. So I can then come in, and it's just important to do that first. So you have some options, whichever way you think. I think this is a little less cumbersome. You'll have to let me know in the comments what your favorite set is from our new mini catalog. This mini catalog has been out, what, a little over a week? So I'm going to grab just a scrap piece of paper. If you have our glass mat, you can just do our blending with the blending brushes right on top of it, which is kind of cool. And then you can just wipe it off, which makes it nice. I'm going to grab out Early Espresso ink. The colors in this designer series paper are Pool Party, Garden Green, I'm going to miss it all together here. The pink, it's kind of a peach. It'll come to me, but it's not coming right now. Daffodil Delight, Pumpkin Pie, Real Red, and I think I said Garden Green. If I didn't, and it's that color as well. Petal Pink is what this pink is. So I'm going to grab, like I said, the mini blending brush. It's just, I don't need it real big, and so I'm going to swirl it across. You don't have to push hard. And then it's good to start outside of whatever it is you're looking to emboss or blend. So do you see the grain of the wood in it now? It's just, it is so cool. This was a new product that is in our annual catalog. So it's been around for a few months. And the more I swirl across, the darker this is going to end up getting. And so I can kind of keep going. I can stop. Depends on how much of a wood, dark wood stain I want. I kind of just liked, I'm just too much of a realist probably, but I kind of liked the wood look for the base of this snow globe. I'm going to go ahead and put those away. Grab out my next colors I know I'm going to want. Okay. set this aside. I'm going to kind of turn it over. So I found that I got a little bit of bleed. I don't really want that on my well, fingers or anything else for that matter. So I'm going to take out, I've got a fine-tipped glue bottle, just one I found. You can find them on Amazon. You might be able to find them at a craft store. I will admit I haven't looked there. This one came in a set of 2 and has a little pin that just sits into it to keep it from drying out. I'm going to pull it over so that I can attach my base to my snow globe. I had done a card a few weeks ago that used the other dome. So this set comes with 2, well, the die set comes with 2 snow globe options. And then of course the dies also cut out a lot of the pieces that are in the designer series paper. So I'm going to pull this little tree, and I want 3 of them. And so what I did is I've done it ahead of time so you don't have to watch me cut everything. I run it through using that scrap piece of garden green. And so I've got those sitting here, and so I'm going to grab again my liquid glue, and I want to attach, hopefully, I want to attach some of my trees. And you can kind of decide where you want them, but I want one on this side, and I'm going to put the other 2 on the other side. You can make your scene using whatever it is from this set you would like. It is fun to play with. You've got a house, a log cabin, you've got a little penguin, you've got some tall mountains, and I showed some tips in my trifold video a few weeks ago of how you can make those look taller than what they appear in the stamp set. So kind of fun. Okay. So at this point, I'm going to set aside my globe. It's going to go on, pull it a little closer. I find this dark background kind of sometimes makes it difficult to see in focus everything. It has a tendency to not want to focus. So now I'm going to set it back down, and this scrap piece, what did I tell you it was again? I wrote it down. 2.5 by 4 is large enough for me to stamp my snowman and his accessories. And so I'm going to grab out the snowman, and I'm going to grab out his hat because I didn't want him to not have a hat. So we're going to grab those 2 pieces. I have used mine a few times, and so you'll notice that it's getting a little bit of color in the photopolymer. It doesn't affect the stamping one bit. It works just fine. So don't worry about that if that happens. I need a C block. Nope, I need a D block. I think this might be the C block. Nope, that's a B. So we're doing a D and then a C. And then I pulled out basic gray. I decided I wanted to use basic gray. I'm not doing a lot of coloring. So this works out really pretty well. So I'm going to stamp said snowman. There he is, and I'll clean him up after a while. And then you can make your hat any color that you would like. I think I'm going to want my hat in real red. Real red. These are my older stamps. These are the older style, still firm foam. It's just that their colors haven't changed, and it's been an investment I didn't want to make, so they still work. So right now I still have some of my older style pads. So that's all I'm going to need for now with real red. And then I'm going to grab out, oh, I need one more thing. We got a little bit of coloring to do. I've decided to use my Stampin' blends. And so I'm going to use the dark version of Pumpkin Pie for my snowman nose, give him a carrot nose. And then I like to give a little bit of distinction for my snowman, so I'm going to take the light pool party and I'm going to come and grab kind of just around the one side. I kind of like how it just gives a little distinction and sets him off from everything else. And you can give it as much or as little as you want. Certainly up to you. And see if I kept Winka Stella over here or not. I think I maybe forgot my Winka Stella. But you can take and put a little bit of glitter around all of those pieces as well. I'm going to skip it for now. I can add it later. So I'm going to put on my plate for my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I'm going to put my paper first, well, plate first for cutting, my plate, then my paper. And I've got just pieces. This is Post-it note tape. You could use pieces of Post-it note. That works really well as well. I'm going to kind of come over here, grab just enough to keep it from shifting on me, and then I need his hat. There's dies for a lot of things, and so I'm going to grab a die for the hat. And the only pieces I'm going to endure having you watch me cut. We'll see how well we cut. Sometimes on camera is not as fun. So then I give a little offset between the cutting plate that's on the bottom and the cutting plate that's on the top, and that helps it feed through the machine better. So I'm going to go ahead, and you'll hear a little creaking and cracking. Hold the center handle as it kind of winds through. Okay, I'm going to get this out of the way because we're about done with what we need to do. So then I find sometimes it wants to stick. So get them out of the way. My bottom plate looks like it's about time to get replaced. And then I'll just take those dies and stick them away. They're tiny enough you really do want some sort of magnetic tray or like what I store mine on, so that you don't lose the pieces. So you just want to keep track of everything. So I'm going to pull out my mini fine tip glue, and I'm going to attach his hat on the top of my little snowman, like so. And then I'm going to set him aside for just a moment while we attach. So I want to grab out some dimensionals, and I think I'm out of my regular size dimensionals. So grab out some paper snips. You can use all the pieces of your dimensionals, even the minis, which is what this is. And so I'm just going to snip off a number of pieces here. You go all the way around the edges. And I'm going to put some dimensionals on my snow globe to pop it up on the front. So I'm going to get a few of them. I don't need a ton, but I do need a few. There we go. Could put one in the middle. Let's put one over here. Okay. So, like so. And get them out of the way. And I'm going to turn my snow globe over. And I'm going to attach it on the front. Now, I'm not sticking a greeting on the front. You certainly could. There is room for a greeting on the front, but I kind of liked it without, so I am putting one on the inside. So I've got my snow globe ready for my snowman to go on, and then I remember I've told you that I've got this little wobbler. So I'm going to grab out my take your pick tool again and that paper pierce portion to just kind of have it help me get this lifted up. I find that this little cover is not the easiest to get off. So I'm going to take and attach it to the center of my snowman on the back. And then there's a couple more pieces that come apart on this side. And again, I find the pierce tool is the easiest for me to get those off. I have thicker fingernails and it's harder to get off. So, like so. All right, and then, and this mail's really pretty flat, so then I'm going to stick him down, and once it goes, it kind of goes. So here's my snowman. Isn't he cute? I think people will have fun wiggling him. So much fun. So the last little bit besides the inside, which we'll get to, are these tiny little loose snowflakes. And what I found works the best are two things. I want my take your pick tool and the little putty end, and then I need my liquid glue. And I'm going to put about 5 of these down. You can choose. I like odd numbers. I don't like to have them in evens. Let's see if I can get enough glue coming out without having a bath. It's always the challenge with this glue. Maybe. Well, it's in part why I use the other glue. There we go. Starting to come out. So I'm going to just give me some dots in places that I think I want my snowflakes. And I have to move pretty quick so that doesn't dry on me. Okay, so I'm going to take a bigger snowflake and I'm going to stick it at the top. So pop it onto there and then hold it. And then see, there are different sizes that are in here. Take a little one over here. Need a little one. It's not quite as little maybe, but a little one that's going to come over here. And we can take a bigger one and then a smaller one. Goes here. And just have fun with it. I think these make cute shaker, which I think has probably been the intention of them, but I haven't used them that way yet. So I'm going to go ahead and close this, and then we'll do the inside, and this fun card's going to be done. So all I did for the inside, I'm going to grab, I've got a block that came in one of my kits probably quite some time ago. And I want my Season's Greetings stamp. And then I'm going to pull out, I've got a couple pads here, I'm going to pull out that early espresso ink again. And I'm going to pull this in the light here. I'm going to just do some simple stamping on the inside. Okay, so I've got Season's Greetings, and I'm coming over a little closer to the right side. Again, I'll clean that after a bit. And then I'm going to grab a couple littler pieces, and so I'll kind of get them ready here. One is the holly, and so I'm going to grab out Garden Green ink again and ink it up, and I want my berries to come down, so I'm going to put my holly. And then I'm going to grab out real red ink and those little teeny berries. And I found they kind of come right in between here really pretty well. Like so. Isn't that cute? I really like that. So all I'm going to do then is to take it on the inside super, super fast. Line up. Whew. I think this would be a fun Christmas card, especially for people who have kids, but you might be surprised. Maybe it's for the kid and everybody. You'll have to let me know what you think about not only this bundle and suite, but this particular card. Again, I think he's just kind of fun. So thanks again for joining me. I'm going to step aside, and thanks again for joining me. I look forward to seeing you again next Thursday, 2 o'clock Arizona time. Have a wonderful rest of your day.